Just when you thought you can wait until spring and summer to visit Uniqlo again, they've just announced the newest collaboration with JW Anderson. I've got to say, I think I like this collaboration the most out of all of the drops this year. Now, you're going to want to pay attention here because depending on what region you are, the release date is going to be slightly different. If you're in the UK or EU, this collaboration is dropping on the 10th of October. If you're in the US, it's on the 17th. And if you're in Asia, then it's dropping on the 18th of October. So if you're not in the EU, basically you just got to wait a week, which is perfect timing because you can wait for my review video before running to the shop to pick up the drop. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel to know when the review video is going to be released. And with that out of the way, let's take a preview of the collaboration that's coming up. So this Uniqlo and JW Anderson collaboration is inspired by the seaside landscape, and it's a modern take on the classic British fisherman look. The collection is much smaller than the U and C collection that was dropped in the previous month. There are a total of 9, but technically 8 garments and a lot of accessories as well, which is very typical for a Uniqlo and JW Anderson collaboration. So we've got 2 outerwears. First one is the padded Quilted Blouson, and these look a lot like the iconic Barber's Quilted jacket. The shell and fill are 100% polyester, and the colors used are also quite similar to the standard Barber's colors. Now from the images, it definitely looks like it's leaning more towards the traditional look rather than the streetwear look. Now it's also worth noting that Uniqlo already has a Blouson jacket in the main line, which also looks like a typical Barber's jacket. That one is actually £69 in the UK and $69 in the US, which makes the price difference £10 in the UK and $30 in the US, which makes the regular Blouson jacket extremely expensive in the UK. So if you're in the UK or EU, I think it's a no-brainer to pick up this JW Anderson over the main line's Blouson jacket. Whereas in the US, I guess it's down to your personal preference, whether you want something that's thicker or thinner. So next outerwear is the Chesterfield Coat. It is very similar to the Uniqlo C overcoat, but the collar has got a bit more of a classic suits fit. It's longer in length and overall it just looks a bit smarter. The Chesterfield Coat is also a wool blend, which is 33% wool. And from the lookbook pictures, they do look a bit more fitted. The texture on the material adds more depth to the design as well. If you haven't picked up the Uniqlo C overcoat yet, I'd definitely wait for this one to be released first before you decide which one to pick up, because obviously there is a price difference between the two, but I do think the design of the Chesterfield coat is a little bit better. Next, there are 3 knitwears available. The first one is the Souffle yarn gradation jumper or sweater if you're American. I think the color of these are absolutely stunning, so you can really see the landscape inspiration from the gradient. I like both the green and the blue. I think they're both fantastic in terms of design. Now, in terms of material, it is only 7%, but the Souffle yarn is designed to be non-itchy. I've never bought any Souffle yarn items from Uniqlo before. I'm definitely keen to see the trade-off between material and itchiness is worth it. And I also really like the lookbook pictures from this jumper. I just really like the seaside look that they've captured here, and it just gives really good inspiration for your own outfits. Then we've got the diamond stitch crew neck jumper. This one comes in off-white and navy. Obviously, as this name suggests, there is a diamond stitch across the front and the back, but it's ribbed along the sleeves. Personally, I don't really like this design as much. I would have preferred it if it was just diamond stitch on the sleeves as well, but I can understand how there would be greater cost implication on this, and they are definitely trying to keep the cost down for this jumper. And for this one, they haven't said it's Souffle yarn, but the composition is actually quite similar. 60% acrylic, 35% nylon and 5% wool. I do think the design is nice, but it doesn't immediately jump out to me as a standout piece, but I'll definitely pick this one up to try on as well. Lastly, we got the Souffle yarn ribbed full zip jumper. This one is quite similar to the Souffle yarn half zip jumper that is in the main line, but obviously the zip is just fully extended. The design is slightly different, it does look thicker, and it's also got a little bit of detailing along the sleeves and also the waist. Now this one, they actually has 1% more wool than the Gradation jumper. Obviously, that's not really going to make much of a difference. Both of these Souffle yarn jumpers, I do really like the design of both of them, and I think this full zip one, it might sell out really quickly because I think both the colors are really good. And I also like the bi-color of the collar as well. So in the Uniqlo U lamb's wool crew neck, you know, they were saying, oh, it's bi-color, but once you put it on, you're never going to notice it. But with this one, you can actually see the difference in color when you're wearing it. And I do think this is probably going to be the top item from the collection once I get my hands on review on them. Now, I've mentioned numerous times that I'm not really a fan of Uniqlo shirts, but I think these flannel shirts are going to be different. So typically flannel shirts are going to be much thicker, but they have kept these to be 100% cotton. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye out on the fabric's thickness and quality compared to other flannel shirts that I've already got. They do have two designs for this flannel shirt. So one is just a large pattern on the front and the back, and then the other one has 4 smaller patterns on the front. Personally, I'm not a massive fan of this specific design. I think the single pattern is much better and also way more versatile. So I'm probably just going to pick that design and leave the, I don't even know what to call it, quarter pattern design flannel shirt. I'm going to give that one a miss. And finally, for the bottoms, they got some wide jeans and some pleated wide trousers. Just as I was saying in my U review video, that I wish there was a wider color range for their jeans, they immediately dropped this JW Anderson range with 4 different colors for the wide jeans. Now, I really like both the off-white and the blue color, but I'll probably just get the off-white color for now because I've got my eyes on a pair of Levi's 568. And as usual, the material is 100% cotton. Now, from what I'm seeing, they do look wider than the Uniqlo U wide color jeans. And the pictures of the pleated wide trousers also seems to be the case. The silhouette on them in terms of proportion, it just looks a little bit more square in comparison to the wide color jeans. But if you check out the lookbook, they don't seem to be that extreme. And as I mentioned before, I'm not a fan of the extremely wide trousers that's happening within the current trend. So let's see how they look once I pick them up. Now, as usual with previous Uniqlo and JW Anderson collaborations, they do have a lot of accessories as well. And this time is no difference. It's got 2 designs for the matching hat and scarves, along with a wide range of socks available as well. So personally, I used to wear a lot of happy socks with crazy designs on them. But nowadays, I tend to stick to plain color socks. So I'll probably check out a pair of the beige with the diamond stitch on them. Alright, so that's a quick preview of the Uniqlo and JW Anderson collaboration that's going to be dropping soon. Now don't forget, if you're in Europe, it's coming on the 10th of October. And if you're in the US, it's on the 17th of October. And then in Asia, it's going to be the 18th. Let me know in the comments below which one you're looking forward to picking up. And if you want to check out my review of the Uniqlo U collection that was dropped a few days ago, you can click on this video here. Otherwise, there's something else for you to watch here. Thanks again for tuning in and see you all next time.